Hi everyone. I was thrilled to hear about all your positive feedback from the video that I posted last week. I also got some feedback from some of you that you could not find the links that I posted last week. The link to the Bach Prelude recording and the link to the Chopin Etude recording. So I will be posting both of those again this week, this time as a comment on the Facebook page, on the Fairmount Community Facebook. This week is going to be a video about a piece of mine. And the reason for this is that I will be performing a live recital for the Corpus Christi of Texas Chopin Foundation recital series, and that will be made available this coming weekend. And on this recital, I perform some of my own compositions, and then I perform some Chopin. So today I wanted to talk about a very short piece of mine called Menuet in F-sharp minor that I composed as part of a series of pieces in the style of Bach. So it's a very short piece, and I wanted to talk about some compositional techniques that I used. And the ones that I want to talk about are the inversion of the motive. So I'll play first a little bit of the piece so that you can hear what I'm talking about, and then at the end of the video I will play the whole piece for you. So here's just the beginning. And I was thinking about an interesting way to explain what the inversion of a melodic line is musically. And the idea that I came up with is Tetris. So I don't know if you know what Tetris is, but it's a game that you play where these blocks fall down on the screen, and you have the ability to rotate them so that they perfectly fit each other. So you can imagine, for example, this block. You know, this piece right here would fit perfectly into this spot right here. But if you rotated this block 180 degrees, then if you try to combine these two pieces together, they would not fit. So in music, if you think about, for example, intervals as being the y-axis or the up and down axis, and time being the x-axis, you can think of certain shapes forming musically. So the main motive in my piece is something like that, right? So it consists of a large interval, a leap, and then a series of scalar intervals, stepwise intervals. And then later on in this piece, in the left hand, I take the same motive and I flip it upside down. And you'll find that you have the long note, and then instead of jumping up to the next note, you jump down. And then you have the scale, instead of going up, it goes down. So it's an example of inversion of the motive, which is, I think, really interesting to think about, and it's one of those types of abstract beauties that we find in music that are really attractive. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about in this piece is just a very simple tonal plan, or a form. In very simple short pieces, they usually have some sort of binary form, A, B, A, or A, B, and you usually hear that form expressed in terms of tonal centers. And in this case, we start in F-sharp minor, and then we reach A major, which is the relative major. And then part of the piece is in A major, and then it comes back to F-sharp minor at the end. Okay? So you'll hear this tonal plan very frequently in minor pieces. In major pieces, you tend to have the relationship 1-5-1, or major 1, and then going to the dominant key, and then going back to 1. That's usually the tonal plan. Anyway, so now I will play for you my Menuet, and maybe these two little pieces of information will be noticeable to you after the brief introduction, and hopefully you enjoy the piece. Okay, that's it. So in the recital this coming week, you will hear another one of my pieces in the style of Bach called Aleman, which is a little bit more complicated. And then you will hear my mazurka and waltz. And then you will hear an opus of mazurkas by Chopin, Chopin Sonata No. 3, and Chopin Nocturne in B major, opus 62, No. 1. So yeah, if you have any questions, please post them in the comments on the Facebook page or on the YouTube link. And once again, I will be posting the links from last week in the comments on the Facebook page, as well as in the YouTube description of this video. So thank you again, and next week I will be posting the full hour-long recital. Oh, and the recital also contains some interesting interviews between the director of the Chopin Society and me, as well as an interview between the director of the Chopin Society and Maestro Grzegorz Nowak, who is the conductor of the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra of London, England. So those are also very interesting interviews, and I hope you will enjoy them. Okay, so that's all for this week, and I'll see you next week.